it's coming.
Should be on Twitch already. Waiting for YouTube still.
Yeah, we start Twitch first and do an audio test, and then fire up YouTube.
Okay, so it's okay. We're good. We're good.
All right. Well, it's Friday, and we've experiencing some technical difficulties, but welcome to the Foolish Tech Show.
Technical difficulties as usual. A little bit of sound trouble, particularly. So please let us know in the chat if you can't make us out for any reason at all, or if there's any problems. Yeah, you know our usual deal here. We like to support our products primarily. So if any of you out there listening to this have a problem with their software, please remember to join us in our IRC chat, foolishit.com/live or foolishtechshow.com. Anything from D7 D Support Suite, Crypto Prevent, any of our software, anything you would like to know, please bring that up, because that's truly is our focus. But if you don't do that, there's a whole lot of other things we can talk about, and certainly we're tech news people, and we have our certain likes and things. We'll certainly rant about that, but please feel free to interrupt. And if we get distracted from the chat, start raising some noise there as well.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's Brantley's fault. Sounds like he's in a tunnel.
I don't like to blame anyone.
No, but it's his fault. But he ought to be able to. We don't hate him for it. It's just his fault. We don't hold anything against him. However, I just wanted to point out that I would like Brantley to butt in when he did. I heard it. It sounded really bad, but sometimes you just gotta say something, and not in the IRC, so I understand.
Well, so I guess.
Plus, I don't like talking, and there's like, I don't know, Proctor, do you got something going on? Because Michael rants a lot.
Well, I'm gonna try to keep it under control today.
I don't have much going on, but Phoenix did post something about BitTorrent. They're spinning off their sync app into a separate company.
Oh, and that does particularly relate to stuff that we've been involved in. I'm going to have to take a look at that.
Wait, what? What? Spin off what?
They're spinning off their sync application.
Is the got a link?
Yeah, it's in the IRC. I'll repost it for you in the group in our office.
I'm looking for it in the IRC, and I do not see it. Sir.
Oh, it's a little bit farther up where Phoenix posted it.
That one. Okay, sorry about that.
No worries. Malware dev scour GitHub for new ideas for bypassing Android security, and test your USB flash drive with USB flash benchmark. Interesting. It's good that they're having, more benchmarks geared toward solid state drives, but those already sort of existed, and so I'm not sure why existing SSD type.
I did remember using one of those a few times.
but
I don't remember what I used, but I remember using something several times.
I'll certainly take a look into those things for you. Thanks so much for sharing. We also had a few things to discuss. Where's my? Here we go. Oh, that's not the tab I want. Actually, did I close my windows? I closed all my windows. Hold on a second. I gotta refind this. You're kidding me. Oh, here we go.
Man, what you got, man? All right, look. All right, fine. I'll look at my RSS for the first time ever.
Well, I did have something, but I just closed all
my to go look for it.
windows. What did I do? I closed out of the one window I wanted to look at. But
filtered properly.
Yeah. No D72 questions. There's not. What was that? with their honking. We were laughing about a story about a Google car following you around honking at you, but
Dude,
that's kind of interesting.
In lighter news, I have started honking every time someone has written on their car that I should honk for something that I just don't even care what. But I'm gonna honk like really long. Like I did it in the parking lot at a restaurant the other day. They had an outdoor event. It's not really news, is it?
No.
I'm just kidding.
There was such a good article. I still had so much to say about it. To go along with all that other previous news we talked about with the built-in applications on the large consumer things, there's another one. Lenovo is now actively urging customers to uninstall its accelerator application, which is interesting.
Awesome.
That's continuing. So I wonder now if companies are going to actually start to take responsibility, if they're actually now admitting it, and owning up to it. But maybe that's a little optimistic. Let me see here if I can get you guys a link to that. And let me try to not avoid the chat here.
Thank you for that link there. I didn't.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was the videos. Now I remember. I had a whole bunch of good videos to show. We already did your great videos from previous. Still haven't read it, but I plan to this weekend. This taking down of the MySpace, and then Aaron Schwartz's story. How the hell did I end up closing the one window I needed to open? So upsetting.
Thank you for the caution on that link, Bradley. Oh man, it's Facebook video. God,
Autoplaying sound.
I saw your caution. I didn't even look at the domain. What's going on? Well, Brantley posted it. I'm sure he's been there, right? He's all right.
Stream is cutting in and out. Do you have any drop frames, Proctor?
I normally do, but
I hate when I accidentally log into Facebook. Why am I even logged in?
Oh, that's a good link that I didn't mention. Phoenix posted a link regarding you'll be able to deliver popular apps as snaps for Ubuntu 16.04. If I'm not mistaken, what snaps are kind of an application in a box. Let me see. I'm reading the article, making sure I'm
looking at Brantley's links. There's elk. Is there elk? I see it.
Yeah. So what is snaps? I'm not completely familiar with snaps.
I'm not either. Like, explain it to me, Proctor.
Your first snap. Okay.
Explain what to you?
That's as caught off guard as I was when Brantley wasn't going to be talking today. I was like,
something relating to the Internet of Things. Snapcraft overview. Key concept: a snap package for the Ubuntu core system contains all its dependencies. This has a couple of advantages over traditional deb and RPM-based dependency handling, and most important being that a developer can always be assured that there is no regressions triggered by changes to the system underneath their app. Snapper makes one of these dependencies easy by allowing you to specify them as parts in the YAML file. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, so it's basically putting your application in with all its dependencies and not having it affect the underlying operating system.
Huh?
And
so Squatting Dog, what did you figure it out? Are you explaining it? Do you have the link, rather?
the link to it. Yeah, so I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, in the meantime, Labtech plugin, because I haven't said anything yet. Squatting Dog has a new Labtech plugin for Have I Been Owned? or pwned, or how do you say that? But the website where you figure out your emails are leaked, your passwords are out there. It'd be interesting. I just saw that, so I just thought I would point that out to everyone.
Not sure if we covered this before, but
if you use the Labtech.
There's a new Linux 461 kernel out as well, folks. And watch out. Apparently, a couple of people are reporting a bug in the boot sequence. So use at your own risk, I suppose. You might want to let it leave a little time for it to settle down before you move on to that.
I just stumbled on this one. If you want to get just random news. Oh wait, never mind.
Brantley points that out. Phoenix. Okay, yeah, Phoenix had a big post. Okay, hold on here. I have a story. Okay, so Phoenix says, today at work we had the most, well, I'm not going to read it word for word.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay.
Does my audio sound better now?
That is so much worse. Around the same.
It doesn't sound as bad in the background, but you sound
you sound worse.
Awful.
Yeah.
The background's great, actually, though. You got the background noise fixed, though.
How about now?
No, you got the background noise. Switch problems. A few hours we found out the room the switch was in had a bad fiber cable. And worked without problem, but in the end he didn't tell us that he was testing the network speed. He was only getting...
Hey, Future Tech Eric says Brantley sounds like an evil overlord, and I would just like to invite Brantley to make evil overlord noises and sound effects randomly throughout the show.
Yeah.
Mostly when they're called for, but also when they're not, maybe.
I don't think he's going to have much trouble with
Michael, we're coming to get you.
So Phoenix points out a very common problem. The guy's getting fiber speed. He's looking to benchmark his system, and he's limiting himself to with a 100 megabit network interface, or I'm guessing. So wow, yeah. Cool. Yeah. Thanks for sharing, Phoenix.
I love audience participation.
Let's see. I think as far as coding is concerned, there is this interesting link, which I don't know if any of you have heard, but there's those shooters, LA shooters, who were out there, or the shooter, but he was a PhD student, and he apparently killed a professor that he had previously, and apparently the cause of the dispute ended up, it looks like it's going to end up being some sort of intellectual property dispute, and between him and the school. But the interesting thing is, nobody's talking about the specifics of what the intellectual property is, so we have no basis to for the truth of whether or not he did or didn't. I mean, not to say that he was right to do what he did, even if they did steal the code from him, but I don't think, I think it should be explored a little bit further, and if anybody knows or has any more information on that, certainly I'd love to know. Intellectual property disputes are a huge thing, especially for universities, because there's a whole lot of kids who spend a large portion, a lot of their life, years and years and years, 8 years or more, and they develop wonderful technologies, world-changing technologies, and ultimately they have no right to use any of that, and oftentimes they'll be put in programs where they're continually waiting to get their PhD for a decade, and really just doing the work of their actual the person doing the material. In this case, it would have been that teacher, and if that turned out to be true in this case, if the evidence suggested that that's what was happening, then you know, but everybody wants to shy away from this and not talk about this. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if this doesn't happen across the board in universities. There's no reason for them to that none of them have ever had the practice of allowing their students to own their materials. And I don't know why this hasn't been brought up before and been an issue before, but this took a totally 180 turn from what it started out to be, just a traditional murder suicide. It turned into that. So that was really interesting.
Wow, that was really interesting. So in other news, 100 million copies of Minecraft are claimed to have been sold. Microsoft bought that company.
Yeah, they sell 53,000 copies a day of Minecraft. So maybe that 2 billion valuation, of them wasn't that bad, or was underrated. Maybe that was a steal of a deal, because it's tremendous. That's tremendous volume for anything, as you all know.
Yeah, I know. My kids have some copies I'd pay for, or at least one anyway.
So, did we already talk about this yesterday? I can't remember. We did talk about the death rate in the U.S. rising.
They all have it.
I don't think so.
Okay, so for the first time in more than a decade, we're dying faster, and there's a whole lot of reasons for this, but some big ones were suicides and drug overdoses. There's been a lot of stories recently about opioid abuse, and that's a big issue. And I'd rather not go into the
opioid.
The nitty gritties of all of this, but it's certainly something that I think we should address, and with the an open talk with the doctors, with the patients, with the pharmaceutical companies. I really think that some things in there are allowing a lot of more harm to be done than should normally be allowed. The statistics I commonly point out, and it's not perfect, but we represent in the U.S. 5% of the world's population, the entire world's population. And I know, Proctor, actually, we did talk about this. We use 80% of the prescription drugs. But remember, prescriptions do exist in most of those countries with billion-plus people. And if it was 50%, if we had 50% of the world's population, I think that number would be blown out of proportion. And we certainly don't have 50% of the world's population. So that's just wild regarding the opioid issues in our country right now. Prescription abuse. It's all the YOLO people. I don't know what the specific
what did you just say?
But that article points out that it goes across age groups, meaning it's not just one particular subgroup of people.
Are you talking about Lego Man?
No. No. What about Lego Man? Where's the Lego? So
right,
Phoenix
before the link gets too gone, let's talk about Phoenix's link with instructions to add is it Anvi Rescue Disk, Sophos Bootable AV, Trend AV, and Panda AV to your easy to boot drive.
Awesome. I was actually going to click on that as soon as I got this cold pack on my foot.
Is Tank in with us? Tank, this one's for you.
Perhaps
for you.
What's for me?
You have a bunch of tats. What's your take on that? Are you in the IRC chat? Do you see the IRC chat?
Yeah, I see it. I gotta read it before I can tell you what the take is, though. Oh, good luck with that. I mean, it may work on like popular gang tattoos and such. But I think
There's
for
much variation to.
most people that are serious about their inquiry.
I mean, facial detection algorithms are generally work, you know, and there's, I mean, I know a tattoo might be a slightly more complex piece than a face, and it doesn't have to have a certain structure like a face typically would have with the eyes and nose and mouth, and a lot of helpful hints for the computer. So it may be more difficult, but I can sort of, with the ever increasing computing power, I can sort of see them accomplishing that goal. But I was more.
We lose you, Michael? Looks like we lost Michael.
What was he talking about?
I don't know. I wasn't listening.
He was talking about tattoo recognition technology. I mean, I guess if they want to recognize my ink from far away, if they can see it, okay.
I was just trying to figure out what YOLO is. I thought he said yellow, and I was about to get upset, and then I had to see the RC, and I was just researching.
Like Yoda's cousin.
Apparently people think it's an acronym for "You Only Live Once," but there's more to it than that the younger generation doesn't get, or something. I don't know. I haven't been doing that. I got to watch a YouTube video to find out, though, and I'm not going to do that right now.
He's back.
Oh, here is some things I posted to our chat earlier. I thought were some beautiful things. Like, for instance, this is a supercell lightning storm, and could be aliens in it too. You gotta watch till the end though. But I'm not saying it's aliens, but could be aliens.
What?
No, just have you ever seen a supercell lightning and stuff like that? They're very pretty.
Checking it out.
I had posted that earlier, and another actual maybe a better video, in my opinion, was pretty cool that I ran across. This is a peregrine falcon and a wingsuit, and a guy in a wingsuit, and it's pretty impressive. The bird. Phoenix says we're so smart we can track data breach in motion and set up VPN tunnels. Phoenix loves his new job, basically, is what he's saying. His work employs 2 PIs, private investigators.
Phoenix.
Yeah, it's very fortunate when people can enjoy what they do.
I think, I don't know if I missed the show or I wasn't reading the IRC. I didn't know he got a new job, so I'm sorry, but that's awesome. Having fun.
Yeah, John, or Nick, rather, take a look at that wingsuit one. I think you might find that one interesting as well. Hey, have any of you used
the what one? What?
The wingsuit? There's a guy that jumps off a cliff in a wingsuit, and there's a peregrine falcon in it, and it's kind of cool.
Where do I find this?
Oh, did I not post 2 YouTube links? Yeah, in the
you did. But they're not. There's no description with them.
One.
Yeah, it's the last
no description.
one.
There's no description along with them, so people have to click. They have to click, or they can't do anything.
Or they can click it.
Or they have to guess. Yeah, or they guess, or they just suffer.
The first one is the supercell. The second one is the peregrine falcon one.
Neat.
Has anybody? Wow, Steam controllers are sold well. I've never used one. Anybody use a Steam controller out there?
I'm laughing because I just watched the first link. I know. But Michael, just a little something with the link is what I was trying to say.
I got you.
No, it slipped by. But. If there's no URL that's like descriptive.
Thanks, Glenn. He says a best made if it specializes in capturing lightning sprites. Do you have any videos or is there any YouTube links for any of that stuff? If you have any, Glenn.
Shoot us his YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'd love to check that out. I actually know someone that attempted to get the word YOLO or the letters YOLO tattooed to his arm, only to find out after the tattoo was completed that it was what was it? They misplaced the letters. It was like Loyo or something like that. It was
Hey,
poor job.
What?
Somebody literally got those YOLO tattoo or wanted to get the YOLO tattoo to his arm, and instead he got something like Loyo or some variation of the letters.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I got that. Well, yeah. So
I got a little sun today, so that's just going to be my excuse for whatever.
he got some sun. So he's excused.
Yeah, I had sunglasses on, so I'm kind of like all badgery looking. I was just noticing that actually I'm very white looking right there. Right here.
Phoenix posts a link to Jump Cloud. And he's saying that they offer 10 free users. Their slogan is Active Directory and LDAP reimagined. One directory to rule them all.
Interesting.
I don't know much about this, but
take a look.
They got an ebook, a few ebooks. Phoenix, are you just Are you actually working, or are you just a salesman for all these products?
I sometimes wonder.
But we do welcome the participation, Phoenix. Thank you so.
Of course.
You seem very excited about it, and yeah, wow. I mean, that's
he's actually he's riding. He's helping us. He's feeding us today. He's feeding to Michael. So run with it.
Oh yeah. Anyway, if the Steam controller suits anyone, I think they're running a $5 sale off of it. Now you can get it for like $35 or something. If anybody's interested in a new controller for their PC games, I hear it's great. And most new games are coming pre-configured for it, so it's very easy to hit the ground running. And again, 500,000 units out there. They're also looking for feedback too from everyone, for the next generation of the controller. And yeah, I know there's a lot of Steam enthusiasts out there. So
I still prefer the keyboard and mouse.
Well, there is that, and that's never going to replace it for anyone, but replace certain apps, first-person shooters.
How have I missed you?
I tried to play my son's Xbox the other day. I couldn't figure that controller out for nothing.
Yeah, well, I don't use controllers like that commonly anymore.
I have an issue with it every time, and it's like, enter your passcode, and I'm like, oh, crap.
Oh, Foolish apparently points out that Steam console is not doing well, and so
I'm having to flip over the bottom of it to read the little hieroglyphic or whatever the letters that identify the buttons.
Oh yeah.
Every time I have to flip it over to identify them. I'm like, gosh. I don't listen to Drake. What is that? Oh, a musical art. Genre? I don't know. Is there one anymore?
I don't know who that is either.
itpro.tv looks fun though. Let's say. What? itpro. What is this .tv thing? To create network diagrams and simple diagrams. Oh, simple diagram. Oh, well. Mainstream bullcrap. Oh, I was just reading and then I read about. I don't have any opinion on that, but I don't know him. Dang, got quiet in here. RTM Tech joined us.
Oh, welcome RTM Tech.
And Glenn joined us earlier. I didn't see Glenn earlier.
Yeah, Drake's that Canadian hip hop artist, right? Canadian rapper, right? Yeah, I'm familiar with him. Going back to the
Canadian. Oh.
Yes, Eric. Yes,
Like
what would you like?
J-Rock. I know J-Rock.
Oh, the one from the Trailer Park Boys. Phoenix, or rather,
what I'm saying.
Future Tech Eric wants to point out that referencing the articles that we were talking about earlier with Lenovo software and other manufacturers' preloaded software having huge vulnerabilities, he points out that there's vulnerable. A lot of these things are vulnerable to man-of-the-middle attacks right out of the box, meaning you set them up and it could literally be minutes before they're exploited. Could be. I'm maybe a little optimistic. I don't know.
I wouldn't like him, RTM, if he's popular. You said he's popular if you like that kind of music, then I would not like him. When I like music, generally, I like the unpopular kind of that genre.
Yeah. Phoenix Phoenix has a question about CPA.
Hop.
Yeah, it's coming along quite well. It should, every time you open up, it should update itself. So I hope you guys have all checked out, and I think that the update should be available for you, unless Brentley didn't publish it. But there's cool little progress bars now when you're applying the policies, and that makes it a lot better. We had a lot of feedback that it just seemed to be sort of hanging at that point, and some folks thought that there was something wrong with it, and were even potentially killing it. So we put in some of that. There are a large number of policies with CryptoPrevent version 8, and
actually simple. Oh gosh. Sorry.
Sure. What is it about policies?
I'm sorry. Continue. I forgot you were speaking.
Oh,
I was being rude.
It's okay. But there's a ton of policies, and it does take some time to write those, and I just wanted to make sure. Okay, yeah, and Brantley, I have been updating the OneNote. I did find another issue today that's not so much of an issue, but it's just an inconsistency with the wording. But look into it, and hopefully, as soon as we get these few little things that I found, we'll publish it, and then you guys will see that update in your existing beta versions. Always recommended, Eric, Features Tech. This is to address Features Tech Eric comment. We always recommend generally to in all cases. I mean, you reload your computer when you get it. You don't just hope that the manufacturer set it up with your best interests in mind, because guess what? They certainly don't. And this case in point with these software vulnerabilities and these preloaded machines, these preloaded pieces of software rather, and that's why they'll run a sale, and so people are enticed to buy these, and so they don't get the custom configuration machines oftentimes that aren't on sales, and you usually aren't given the control over any of that software at all that's put onto you'll be happy to add something like Microsoft Office, for instance, onto your computer purchase, but no way will they take off their ones that they have marketing and ad partnerships with. So I think it's solely to drive additional sales and those built-in tools, and they certainly can provide vulnerabilities. And you just want to limit the surface exposure. I mean, why would you, particularly with a business machine, why would you ever want any more pieces of software installed than you actually needed to use? And so unless you're actively using these preloaded pieces of software and you find some intentional value in that,
Michael, what do you mean a business machine?
What's that?
Are you talking about a business machine?
Well, some customers don't purchase business machines to save the money, and then they'll get an off-the-shelf,
and then they get a business, and then they get a consumer machine, and then they have to go and fix that.
Yeah.
On their own.
That's
okay.
Yeah, but at any rate,
there's a number of reasons why you should buy business class. I'm just
Well, I'm
saying.
not arguing
In
that
my
you
experience.
buy a business class machine. If you buy a business class machine, you're typically going to not get the preloaded software. You're typically going to get a professional or otherwise domain joinable version of Windows, as you all know. And
the hardware is normally more reliable. And
yeah, and so for example,
Hardware.
you'll see all
That's
these.
the biggest thing.
You'll see all these articles about the Lenovo and the software vulnerabilities, but do I worry with the ThinkPads? No, because that's their business model of laptops. So they don't preload those machines with those pieces of software. Now, I actually still recommend completely reloading the machine even in those
I
cases.
don't know if they have or have not loaded any ThinkPads with that. They did not load my ThinkPad with that, and since I have decided I don't want to purchase laptops anymore just because they were the last one I liked or something, then that's it. But yeah. So I don't know. Don't just take his word for it is all I'm saying. Don't do your research before you buy a ThinkPad. And even then you'll probably find out later anyway.
Yeah, Glenn jumping in and I guess agreeing. He's saying business clients buying domestic crap, then complaining about how unreliable they are, and he says that happens.
When you buy a business class machine, you get the motherboard that Asus tested, before it was produced en masse. It was thoroughly tested. There's a difference, between the models that are just put out there and the models that typically go in business class machines or are considered business class products. They almost, I hope, almost always, and that's again, do your research depending on the manufacturer, but
Futures Tech Eric had a funny little article, and we may have missed about.
Oh, and you also know. I'm sorry, just one more, and you'll get
Sure.
to it. But the other good thing is that a business class machine, you also have the benefit of that one well tested model of component is also being sold to massive companies with people who they're buying lots of units, and if there's an issue, they'll flesh something out and there'll be a new revision. But it's usually like you buy a year-old business class machine, you're gold.
Usually also guaranteed replacement parts
About
for
a
a longer
year
period of time.
motherboard technology, I would say.
Consumer parts may not, if you need a custom part or something like that for a machine that you buy from a manufacturer, they're not necessarily obligated to keep those parts available to you, and it might be difficult to locate or repair those machines. I don't know if that's so much concern for anyone, but I believe for professional type machines, business machines, typically have much longer cycles in those terms. So I'm looking at the article that Futures Tech already posted about the Netmeister MD on netmeister.org, entitled effectively MD or entitled "If Medical Jobs Were Like Tech Jobs," and it's very interesting.
Jobs were like tech
It's
jobs.
basically like resume, what it would look like. So take a look at that. What? Now what? Dead error. Let me see. Let me get some more. Wow, there's a lot of people in the chat. Does anyone watch Wayward Pines? Foolish Brantley is asking. The second season just started, and it's not as good as the first, but interesting so far.
I've only seen previews.
The Wayward Pines, yeah. No, I watched the first one. I didn't know there was a second season, right? Let me make sure we're talking about the same thing here.
I think Brantley was saying the season's going on now.
Excellent. Well, I'll have to look into the. Actually, let me do it on IMDb. I believe this is the show where.
Hey, what about the preacher? And oh shoot, I need to see that. Is the next episode out? Is the second one out? Out this Sunday. Okay.
Yeah. So somebody. Okay. Yeah, he is. It's yeah. So this was basically the guy in the first season was basically an FBI agent at this town, and this town was messed up and weird, and something strange was going on, and they started to unfold over time what transpired, and basically the season culminated and ending with a whole kind of you're going to rebuild the town again, if you will. And I don't want to give away exactly. All of you should probably watch the first season. It was very good, very well done. And of Wayward Pines. I highly recommend it. The first season, and it took me a long. They did it well. They didn't bust out and do it. And it's directed by M. Night Shyamalan. So if you respect his directing style, but I think it was well adapted. Now the second season, I don't like what Brantley said about it not being as good. Yeah, I very much agree. It's very much like thinking about Twin Peaks, but with a little slightly different spin. Yeah, it apparently points out some very good parts, but I'm definitely gonna watch that.
There is a bacon critic. Thank you, RTM Tag. We should. If I known Brantley wasn't gonna be on the show today, I just done a bacon show.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing another bacon show, but
Well, how are you cooking bacon these days? You used to nuke it a lot.
I nuked it 95% of the time, 90% of the time. Now I do not.
Are you using the convection oven?
Mm-hmm. I've used the grill too, but I always
forget. How does it come out in the oven?
It's good. Oh, here's my tip to get it crisp, actually thick bacon with the oven. For what worked for me, I was always having trouble with like 400 or something. I think 400. Was it 400? 1/4 maybe. I don't know. Somebody was like 450, 500 if you can get it. Just cook, and do it quick. Keep an eye on it. Your ovens vary, of course, but she's like crank it up to like the max temp of your oven, and go from there, and just that'll work. So I did try that the other day, and it worked. Cool. But I still burnt it a little bit. But I just need to adjust time for my oven. But I want to be a bacon critic. Let me read about this.
I was able to reload all my tabs. Thank the good Lord. I finally. Oh, great. Yay.
Oh, did you have a reboot earlier? Is that why you dropped out?
No, I don't know. My internet dropped out for some reason. I'm not sure.
Can live anywhere in the U.S. and will spend 3-month appointment researching, writing about, obsessing over, and critiquing bacon. It does sound like an awesome job. It sounds, though, also like you may need to consult a physician throughout the, just so the beginning and the end. Just because I imagine you'd be eating more bacon than I normally do. Like a lot, probably. Bacon critic. I mean, food critics, man. They're always fat. I think if you just was critiquing bacon.
Lucy.
Oh, Lucy wants to be on TV. Hello, Lucy. Oh, I love you.
Puppy girl.
She's a good puppy. Yes, she is.
Yes, his adoptive puppy girl that he didn't want, and Brownie made him take it. And now he loves it.
I was forced. Oh, look at Lucy. Yes, she's a good girl.
That is on the promo to What Did Foolish Do, Brantley? Turn the oven on the highest whatever to highest. Oh my goodness! I didn't take that seriously because it was on the Foolish promo. That's why I chose it for the promo. Oh my goodness, it was a good friend Donald, wasn't it? Yes. Seen him in a while.
So there's a bunch of cool links and cool stories on ours. Technica as well. I'm always interested in their sciencey articles. So if anybody, yeah, thank you guys for the comments about the dog. She is very, very cute. RTM Tech apparently thought I wasn't saying Lucy, but Lunacy. And sometimes I feel like she acts like a lunatic might, but she's just a puppy, and I think that's all the explanation anyone needs for that. But that's in-depth, pretty in-depth.
Hey, apparently I clicked on something a few minutes ago, and now I know not what it is. Info. What is this? Veronis? I click on something weird.
You may have. That's entirely possible.
Brantley, did you do
Here's we've talked about data caps before, and obviously Brantley and I have a couple of different opinions. But here's another article related to that. I'd urge you all to check it out.
Like, is this Futures Tech Eric? And I'm gonna say Futures Tech Eric. Is this for real? I mean, like, can I just enter in an email? Will that work? All right, I'm just gonna go make one real quick.
What?
I guess that kind of
where?
goes without saying.
Kids snacks, 90s. Oh, what is that? Such good links. Thank you, folks. Thank you, folks, so very, very much. Mr. Robot Season 2. Phoenix posted a link about. What are you trying to follow, Nick?
Eric, the link on the IBM. I just click back to it. Varonis, like the IT cards or something. So,
Oh, yeah, the way back. Yeah.
no, way back. What? It's just cards for IT people. If anyone plays Cards Against Humanity.
No, but the link was posted way back in the chat. I was trying to find the link. So, yeah.
Hey, what the heck is Cards Against? Oh gosh, now I gotta do some googling. Wait, all right. Do I live under a rock or what?
Possibly.
Do you know what this is?
No, I don't.
No, what is?
It's a party game for horrible people. Unlike most. Okay, all right, cool, done. Thank you, sir. Unlike most of the party games you've played before, Cards Against Humanity is as despicable and awkward as you and your friends. Period. And the game is simple. Each round, one player asks a question from a black card, and everyone else answers with their funniest white card. Okay. All right. Neat. Right on.
All those 90s foods. Oh, yeah. I don't remember any of this. I mean, I do remember all of this crap for the most part. Oh, wow. Yeah. But thankfully, I didn't.
I didn't wiki it. I Googled it, but
more
yeah.
of an 80s kid than a 90s kid.
Well, no, I didn't Google it. Well, yeah, I did. I Googled it and clicked on the first link that looked like the website. I hope Google doesn't misrepresent those links anymore. Or still, well, you know, because you don't see them. But maybe I should start copy and pasting stuff.
I want to look at this a little bit closer into this.
We were playing that Jungle Speed.
Yeah.
Brantley got us in on that, and the fam, and we got Jungle Speed for when the boys got here for the summer. And
Comcast usage cache are now officially 1 terabyte.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. We've had great fun with Jungle Speed the last couple of days.
Anyway, so that, but I want to get back more to that article and more the point of that original Ars Technica article that I was posting. It's based upon the idea that data caps are a business decision, and I've seen now almost what I believe to be convincing evidence to suggest that's the case. That isn't direct agreement with what Brantley had said, but I think the article that a few articles that have been posted, not just by me, actually.
Okay, who did Comcast bought Time Warner, right? Oh, it was Charter. Charter bought Time Warner. Okay.
Ooh, let's see. Super
See,
fun.
to my knowledge, I don't have a data cap with Charter. Okay. Yeah, this is all foreign to me.
Might not have data caps in certain
Data
cases.
caps are at least on home internet are foreign to me. You know, even cable or DSL is something that's not done around these parts.
I haven't had a data cap on an internet service
ever.
ever. I think ever would be the.
I only lived in North Carolina and Virginia.
Is buying Time Warner cable for $55
well, whether or not you've had a data cap and whether or not you've exceeded it are two very different things.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't really matter if you're exceeding it or not. If they bill you because they say you're exceeding it, that's a whole different story. And we've talked about that before. Or I know I've posted links before where like those data, the man measures data cap, Comcast data cap, and he's got his like logs from the router and everything, and it's like way off. It's like half of what Comcast is now billing him for. Some mess.
Anyway, just check out the article. I think it goes into good detail about it.
They started it in various locations. Huh. I hope that doesn't happen. It seems like it's always like Silicon Valley. Is it that area? Is that California and places? No? Where is it?
I don't know. I'm not sure. So Apple reposted. I had mentioned the iOS 9.3.2 update causing some problems for some iPad Pro owners a while back. Apparently, if any of you are affected by that, I know we're not mostly Apple here, but if you are, they reposted the update to apparently fix the issue. Let's see what the original update. Apple has reposted the update as of today. Apple says the users should be able to get them working again by connecting them. Okay, so they have a complete workaround. That's good. Yeah. And a fix. Yeah. Good. Oh, this. Okay, so check it out. The Mi Band 2 is just $23. That's real cheap, isn't it?
What?
Yeah, so this is this is like, a watch for fitness watch type competitor, like the Fitbit type, I guess, people or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they're selling this going to be selling for $23.
Are those in any case like in any way accurate at all?
Well, we discussed that, and they very well may not be. But the fact is, though, that the people here selling them are selling them for, I believe, a lot more expensive than that. I don't buy them.
Well, yeah. How is what?
Fitbit and Garmin, they're priced $100 or more. $100 or more.
$23, $13. I mean, these things are all great, but I'm pretty sure the hospital uses better stuff.
Well, I'm sure, but the point is, why would you? I might be able to blow $23 for something and get it, even if it's even in the ballpark. Possibly, I'd be okay with it. But spending, I really feel bad for the people that have spent $100 or more on Fitbits and Garmins and other devices and not, and still had the same poor quality. But anyway, I just thought that the price point of that was the interesting thing. I'm not a big fan of these devices at all. I'm not a fan of even the iWatch or the Apple Watch, whatever the hell it's called. Those types of things, I don't see myself personally benefiting from them, although it could be usage dependent. Brantley seems to like his, or Brantley's. He doesn't have an iWatch, but whatever he has, he seems to like. And my brother claims he likes his iWatch, and he does have an Apple one. So I don't know. Yeah, you might start a car with your Apple Watch. I mean, yeah, but Is starting a car the biggest problem in the world we need to solve?
Phoenix posted a link earlier about foods from the 90s, if you remember those foods or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
All of those things are like new things to me. Like the food I remember
Yeah.
that they don't make anymore was way before the 90s.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned. We're
But
mostly 80s growing up kids here, so
but I
you're.
found
That's
this
stuff
I
that didn't
found this
exist.
site called Gone but Not Forgotten Groceries. Gone from the shelf, but still fully stocked in our brains. I want to post that link.
Yeah, the 90s ones though, I remember some of them, and the reason why I remember some of them is freaking commercials.
Do you
So
do
many
you
commercials.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Michael.
I was just going to say there's so many commercials that were pushing those things out. I wouldn't. You probably have seen the commercials for them, even though you weren't a kid in the 90s. You probably saw the commercials.
Do you remember these, Nick? Peanut butter boppers. Pretty sure I ate them when we were a kid at your house for the first time. They were awesome. Like, I
Do they
could
have
still taste
chocolate?
them.
Because I don't like chocolate.
I would love to have some of those. They do have a chocolate variety. It's peanut butter and chocolate.
I don't like chocolate. So.
The ones I remember didn't have the peanut outside. They had like a chocolate cookie crumbs on the outside, and they were so good. I would give like $100 for one of those right now.
I don't know. Can't honestly say.
Yeah.
So, I'm a big fan of GOG, Good Old Games. I don't know if anybody is a fan of that. Their big thing is that they offer non-DRM content. All of their games on GOG have no DRM. So when you purchase it, you don't have any DRM, and and it's great and it doesn't expire your games and all that stuff. So they're now allowing people who have Steam to import their games. Now, it is dependent upon them having the equivalent game under them, but you basically get the non-DRM versions of all the Steam games that they have in their library if you connect your accounts. So they just basically verify that you've purchased it via Steam, and then they allow you access to it. So I thought that's cool, and there's the link for it. And the only thing is, my Steam account, I don't have any games. It only applies to the games that they have there, and they don't have any there yet. But apparently, this is a limited time offer too. So I don't know. A little bit leery of tying the counts together. It does require that you that you make your inventory public, but you can just do it temporarily while you do the check, and then you could turn it back. So I don't guess that would be too big of a deal. If but it's basically just the your profile's status as being public or private. So take that into consideration, obviously, before you do it. But I think it's a reasonable thing, and I'm really big fans of non-DRM games. I used to, and I still remember the time when you could buy a game and it was like your game, when you wouldn't. Anyway, you don't have to jump through hoops to play it. Anyway, so I thought that was cool, and I encourage you all to check them out, and particularly if you like retro gaming, because they have a huge collection of retro games there. I'm done with that story.
Dang, $10 each time for $10 for 50 gig over the cap, but up to $200 a month.
I thought this was an interesting move, but does anybody play The Sims? If anybody likes The Sims, it's been a very popular game for people. I thought this was interesting, and that's all I'll say.
Brantley, what you going to Washington for? We had him, huh? Huh? Like, what?
Oh, apparently this is a first. Another Ars Technica article. The first country that wants to heavily invest in space mining. But of course, it's the smallest country in the world, Luxembourg, other than the Vatican.
Oh, that thing. Cool, man. Crap, that kind of crept up on me. Awesome. Well, that's a link to the tour camp. What is it? What tour camp? It's the American Hacker Camp. Hackers, makers, breakers, and shakers. San Juan Islands. Sounds awesome.
So here's another great story about something we talk about a lot here on VPNs and security. So Ars Technica wanted to do an article on it, and turned out to be quite difficult to make a list of the best VPNs for them. So I think their discussion is definitely worth a read in that regard. It is a complicated topic, and I can understand why they had issues with getting information, from the VPN providers. Everyone advertises it, but very few are forthcoming with the details of their non-logging and all those other things. And they cover all the issues and they break it down. They cover the marketing hype and the data retention issues that we've discussed about. And a list like this would be very useful for what Brantley talked about previously, and that's the VPN chaining article, I believe. I think that's an excellent article to take a look at, if it wasn't already discussed by us. I'm sorry if Brantley had mentioned that previously. It sounds like something he would have talked about, but maybe not. Maybe I got to it first.
Man, all right, guys, stop this Apple thing, Phoenix. And he just fixes them, man. I mean, come on. But Apple does make good stuff, or they did at least anyway. I guess they don't now. It's been a long time, I think. Isn't that right? They make good phones, don't they? Right, Proctor?
I was muted.
I see. Man, I think it's about time to mute the show. It's like one of those Fridays.
Yeah, but the IRC is going. Thank you guys for joining us, and we're sorry Brantley is not here. We know you all love him as the curator of the show, and today he's a little bit indisposed with that, but we'll be back to relatively normal, I think, on Monday, right? Hopefully.
Gosh, I'm sleepy, actually.
We're to fill up an hour, I guess, but we had a lot of pauses in this
for the next 2 hours.
You want to do the show for 3 hours? Be my guest. I'm not going to be here.
No. I'm talking about until I can justify starting to put the kids to bed and reading. And
oh, gotcha. All right, dogs. Come on.
They're in trouble and they have to go to bed now.
It's bad because I have to wait till the kids. I have to wait till a decent hour for the kids to go to bed that I can go to sleep. I don't know. Because I go to sleep so early, you see. Anyway.
Okay, I hope you guys.
Morning owl. Are you taking it? Who's taking us out? I'm reading the IRC now.
Ready to go out?
Yeah, we can. We should probably take it out. We're past the time, and we're so.
Probably. Heck, I just said. Do it now. Just cut it off. Stop. Bye, internet. Bye. Stop.